Weird things that only exist in Australia. Australia, the land of kangaroos, Vegemite, and the Great Barrier Reef. But beyond the postcards and tourist brochures, there's another side to Australia, a weirder side. A side filled with unusual traditions, strange creatures, quirky laws, and things that make you scratch your head and say, wait, that actually exists? And that's exactly what we're diving into today. In this video, we're going to uncover some of the weirdest things that only exist in Australia. Some of them will make you laugh, some will make you go, you, and some might just make you fall in love with Australia even more. So if you've ever wondered what makes this country truly unique, stay with me until the end because I promise you'll learn something new. And hey, if you're Australian, I'd love to know in the comments if you've experienced any of these weird things yourself. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment if you've got your own weird Aussie story to share. Alright, let's jump into the strange, the quirky, and the downright weird. Let's start with the obvious, the wildlife. Australia is famous for having some of the most unique animals on the planet. But did you know that some of them are so weird, even scientists were confused at first? Take the platypus, for example. When British scientists first saw it in the 1700s, they thought it was a prank, like someone had stitched together a duck and a beaver. And honestly, can you blame them? This little creature lays eggs like a bird, has a duck bill, a beaver tail, and webbed feet. Oh, and the males are venomous. Yep, not deadly to humans, but enough to make you regret picking one up. And the platypus isn't alone in the weirdness category. Ever heard of the cassowary? It's a giant, prehistoric-looking bird found in Queensland that can run up to 50 km/h and jump 2 meters in the air. And here's the kicker, it's considered the most dangerous bird in the world. Why? Because if it feels threatened, it can kick with its razor-sharp claws, and trust me, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that. It's like Australia's version of a dinosaur that just didn't get the memo about going extinct. But it's not just the animals that are strange. Australia has weird weather too. In some parts of the country, you can literally experience 4 seasons in one day. Melbourne is notorious for this. One minute it's sunny, the next it's raining, then windy, then hot again. Locals joke that if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. And then there are the bizarre natural events, like when it rains spiders in certain regions. Yes, spiders. They use their silk to balloon through the air, and sometimes whole towns get covered in a silky layer. Imagine walking outside to find your car covered in spider web. That's Australia for you. And if that wasn't strange enough, there's the phenomenon of fish raining from the sky. In some inland towns, strong updrafts during storms can literally pick up fish from rivers and drop them kilometers away. So don't be too surprised if you ever see a fish flopping around in the middle of the road. Now let's talk about food. Australians love their food, but some of it is, well, a bit weird to outsiders. The biggest one is, of course, Vegemite. This thick, dark brown spread made from yeast extract is salty, bitter, and honestly tastes like, well, let's just say it's an acquired taste. Most foreigners gag the first time they try it, but Aussies love it on toast with butter. The key is not to spread it thick like peanut butter, just a tiny smear is enough. But beyond Vegemite, there are other unusual snacks too, like musk sticks. These are bright pink candy sticks that taste like perfume. Seriously, they taste like chewing on a bar of soap. Yet for some reason they're a nostalgic favorite for many Australians. And here's a truly Aussie twist, kangaroo meat. Yes, kangaroo. You'll find it in supermarkets, in sausages, and even on restaurant menus. For Australians, it's a lean, healthy meat option, but for tourists, it's a bit of a shock. Imagine visiting the US and seeing bald eagle burgers. That's how strange it feels for some people. Moving from food to laws, Australia has some of the weirdest rules on the books. For instance, did you know it's illegal to own more than 50 kilograms of potatoes in Western Australia? This law dates back to the 1940s when there was a potato board regulating the industry. And technically the law still exists even though it's rarely enforced. So if you're planning a massive potato party, maybe avoid doing it in WA. Another strange law. In Victoria, it's illegal to change a light bulb if you're not a licensed electrician. Now this one is often exaggerated, but technically at one point in history, you could get fined for doing your own electrical work at home. Imagine calling an electrician just to screw in a new bulb. That's next level weird. And then there are the festivals. Australia has some of the weirdest celebrations you'll ever see. Take the Henley on Todd Regatta in Alice Springs. It's a boat race, but here's the twist, it's held on a dry riverbed. Competitors run down the sand carrying boats with no bottoms, like some kind of Flintstones version of a regatta. Only in Australia would you race boats without water. Or the Tunarama Festival in South Australia, famous for the tuna toss. Yes, people compete to see who can throw a frozen tuna the farthest. The record is over 37 meters. It's part sport, part bizarre local tradition, and completely unique to Australia. Australia also has weird place names that make you wonder what people were thinking. Towns like Bong Bong, Humpy Bong, Useless Loop, and nowhere else actually exist. There's even a place called Mount Disappointment, named by explorers who climbed it expecting a great view, only to be underwhelmed. At least they were honest. And let's not forget about the Aussie lifestyle quirks. Walking barefoot in public is totally normal in many parts of Australia. You'll see people walking into shops, schools, or even supermarkets with no shoes. To outsiders it might look strange, but for Aussies, it's just part of the laid-back lifestyle. And then there's the obsession with slang. Australians shorten almost every word. Breakfast becomes brekkie, afternoon is arvo, and McDonald's is Macca's. Even politicians get nicknames. Former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd was often called K-Rudd. It's like a national sport to make words shorter and funnier. Another weird thing that confuses foreigners: the sound of Australian wildlife at night. If you've ever camped in the bush, you know what I'm talking about. Possums screeching, kookaburras laughing like maniacs, and frogs that sound like motorbikes. It can feel like you're surrounded by a jungle full of pranksters. And here's a final weird fact. Australia once went to war with emus. Yes, in the 1930s, farmers in Western Australia were struggling with emus destroying crops. So the military stepped in with machine guns. The result? The emus won. The birds were too fast and scattered, and the soldiers couldn't keep up. It's remembered today as the Great Emu War, a truly bizarre piece of history that only Australia could produce. So why are these weird things important? Because they show just how unique Australia is. The wildlife, the traditions, the food, the lifestyle, they all add up to a country that's unlike anywhere else on Earth. And that's what makes Australia so special. Whether you're an Aussie having a laugh at your own culture or someone overseas curious about this land down under, these weird facts are just